Hey guys, so I'm here today with another message of the week video, and I'm very excited to talk about the card that I have pulled for this week's message. So this week we have happiness is found in the present moment. I just need to be present, hear, see, and sense. This right here is my life. So this card is a great example of mindfulness, or being mindful about the moment that we are currently in. So throughout my spiritual journey so far, I have learned quite a bit about mindfulness and what it's like to be mindful. I know from personal experience that throughout my life so far, I probably haven't been living in the moment as much as I should have been, and it's still something that I struggle with. It's not every moment that, I can be just in the moment and not be thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow or what has already happened. And I like how this card talks about how happiness is found in the present moment. We tend to try and look to tomorrow, things, always looking forward to something to make us happy or make us feel good, whatever it may be, when really the only thing that really matters is the moment that we're currently in, because that's all we have right now is the moment that we're currently in. And the past has already come and gone, so there's no point in focusing on maybe things or situations that we found ourselves in the past that we maybe didn't like. We didn't like that something happened a certain way, or the way that we reacted to something, and then we tend to sit with that thought and dwell on it, and by doing that we're taking away from the happiness that we could be feeling in this present moment. And it's the same with the future. If we are anxious about a certain situation that is coming up, or an event, or whatever it may be, if we're anxious about it, once again, we are taking away from the good things that we could be feeling and focusing on and being mindful about right now. So as the card says, I just need to be present, hear, see, and sense. So one of my favorite ways to be mindful is to really take in what is currently going on around me. And one of my favorite times to practice mindfulness is in the mornings when I take my dog out before I go to work, while she's walking around and doing her business. That's the time that I kind of like to focus on what's going on around me. I like to look at the trees that are around me. I like to listen to the sounds of the cars as they go by on the street that's right beside where I live. If the wind is blowing, I like to feel it, whether it's warm or chilly on my skin. And then sometimes there's even a smell in the air, especially if it's kind of early in the morning. So that is one of my favorite times to be mindful. And granted, I do try to be mindful throughout the day, not just in the morning, but I feel like for me it's a really good way for me to start my day. And then sometimes I have even drove to work or home from work without the radio on or without playing any of my music, and really just focusing on what the steering wheel feels like, in my hands, the sounds of the car as it drives along the road, the sounds of the tires going over the pavement, and even just really feeling what that feels like to be in a moving vehicle. Those are some of the things that I never really paid attention to before, because I would always just focus on other things, like I'm focusing on driving, but I also have my music playing in the background, so I'm just not focusing on those little things. Or a lot of people have talked about when you're driving and you're so used to it and you're so on autopilot that you don't even realize that you've made it home until you get home, and then when you try to recall the trip that you just took, you can't even, remember it because you were so on autopilot, that you don't even remember doing it. So that's something that I am trying to get out of. I feel like I would enjoy my commute more if I was more in the moment while I'm, on my way to work or on my way home or wherever I'm driving to. So we can be mindful in any situation, in any moment, just truly paying attention to what is going on around us, what we are seeing, the conversations that we're having with people, really putting our full attention into them, hearing what they're saying, and not even just focusing on our response to what they're saying, but really just taking in their words and really hearing it. I know for me, a lot of the times when I'm having a conversation with somebody, I'm thinking about how am I going to respond to what they're saying to me, when really all I really need to be doing is just listening, just hearing what they're saying. And then once they're done speaking, then I can take my moment to respond. But while they're speaking, I want to be, more engaged in what they're saying. But it definitely is easier said than done. For me personally, it is still a work in progress. And I feel like it's something that I am going to be working on throughout the rest of my life. I feel like it's not something that I'm going to just wake up one day and have it all down, Like, it's definitely going to be something that I carry on with me as I go about life and, find new ways that I can apply everything that I have been learning so far about mindfulness. But I do think it is a really great concept that can truly help people, especially someone who is more of a anxious person. I know, once again, from personal experience, anxiety was a big thing for me, more so when I was younger. It still can be, but when I was younger, it was a big thing for me. And I didn't really know how to go about helping myself when it came to the anxiety that I would feel for multiple different reasons or situations. I am definitely somebody who gets really anxious thinking about social gatherings or just having to do things around other people. So if a situation were to come up involving something along those lines, I would tend to just sit with my thoughts and dwell on all of the possible things that could go wrong, whereas now I am a bit better at pulling my focus away from the future or away from things, that haven't even happened yet and may not even happen, and just focus on the present moment. Because even when it's time for those situations to come and I find myself in the event that usually I would be very anxious about, I usually realize that it's not as bad as I thought it would be, because now I'm here, I'm in the situation, and I'm just going through the motions. And then after the situation, I'm able to look back on all of the anxiety that I felt before and think to myself, well, that was really unnecessary. Those were feelings that I put on myself that I really didn't need to. So yeah, I think mindfulness is a incredible tool that more people should be trying to focus on and incorporate into their lives, because the benefits of mindfulness can be life-changing. And it can be in the smallest moments that you can be mindful. You don't even have to be doing anything extravagant. You could be washing the dishes and, really just put all of your focus and attention on that, and you will see that it's a way different experience, doing the dishes mindfully than you have done before when you were just on autopilot. So yeah, that is what I have for you guys today on mindfulness and, just being more present and in the moment. I hope you found this message to be helpful and relevant in some way. And as always, I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the next one.